She's gonna kill me. Yep. She said, hey, can you do my favorite movie, Ty? Sure, no problem, sis. What you got? Top Gun? Yeah, easy enough. Great movie, right? Wrong. She's gonna kill me. Hey everybody, welcome back to TLTV. Thank you so much for being patient with me last week. I was feeling a bit under the weather. And you may or may not be able to tell, but my voice still has a little Phoebe Buffay sticky shoes sound to it, if you will. But, I'm rolling with it. This week, we're going to talk about a classic 80s movie, Top Gun. Now, what I want to say about this movie is that it's a classic 80s action movie that we all know and love, right? It's got epic action sequences, awesome one-liners, Tom Cruise in his early years. I mean, what's not to love, right? But can it stand the test of time? Is it good now? And this movie is your standard action movie with your quintessential nomadic hero character played by Tom Cruise. Like, he's a badass in the cockpit and he wants everyone to know it. He doesn't care who he pisses off. He likes to live life on the edge, and that could be because he's being haunted by his father's ghost, living in his shadow. His father was a pilot. He's now a pilot. His father died on the job. You've got the goofy best friend character. You've got the sultry love interest, played by Kelly McGillis, who, we come to find out, is actually a subject matter expert and one of the teachers at the school that he's training at. We all know the story. We all know the action sequences. We all know the music. We all know the volleyball scene. Can we just pause for 1 minute? Why? Why would you play volleyball? Beach volleyball, mind you, with sand in jeans. Jeans! Sounds like a formulaic but enjoyable movie, right? I think the last time I watched this movie, I was probably teenager, so it's been a few years. But from what I remember, classic, everybody loves it. I enjoyed it when I watched it last, so I had no qualms about doing this review, and I was like, oh, this should be easy, piece of cake. First thing, this is not actually a movie. It's a music video. This is 110 minutes of let's see if we can string along a storyline that kinda we care about a little bit, with a bunch of musical interludes in between and some action sequences with scattered dialogue. I do not remember this movie being so vacant. There was just no real substance. And I know that's not the point of this movie, but it was devoid of any substance whatsoever. I found myself not really caring about the plot, about the characters, and I was trying to figure out why. I'm not one for musicals, and this is by no means a musical, but the musical interlude to actual scene ratio was grossly disproportionate. It seems like every other scene there was a 5-minute musical interlude. Like, what is happening? Not to mention the dialogue that we did get was cheesy as hell. Now, yes, you're right. This is the 80s and dialogue was cheesy then. It just is what it is. And I can live with that. But not without proper character development. Like, there was just nothing there. It was so superficial that you just don't care about these people. Back to the music. I mean, the music itself was great. It's one of the best soundtracks out there. Danger Zone! But seriously, that is what it felt like a large majority of the focus was for this movie, was the soundtrack. It was like every 5 minutes was a musical interlude of some CSI Miami colored montage. I feel the need for speed. You and me both. It seemed like this 110-minute movie just went on and on. Now, hold on there, Mr. TLTV. You've talked about movies like this in the past and said they still have a place and are still enjoyable. Yes, you're right, I have. It's just unfortunate that now the only thing that I find enjoyable about this movie is the nostalgia. It sucks that I find Cruise's character to be arrogant to the point of annoyance. And the entire time, I'm sitting there agreeing with the Iceman, saying, stop being a dick, dude. You're gonna get somebody killed. And it sucks that when Goose died, I didn't care watching it this time around. Because there wasn't enough character development and time spent with these people to really build that relationship. It was a lot of cheesy, superficial, surface level interaction that it didn't really amount to much emotional connection. And that's fine for some movies. But if you're going to try and tug at people's heartstrings, you gotta put in the emotional character development. You just have to, otherwise it falls flat. It just sucks. I want this movie to live up to the way that I remember it all those years ago, but rewatching it, it just fell flat for me. And I don't know if it's just where I am personally. I don't know if it was a random off day or what, but it just didn't live up to the hype and the nostalgia that I remembered it to be. Which sucks. It sucks when those classics that you loved as a child, you come back and revisit, and they don't live up to the hype. Now, I did some research to try and figure out where this could have possibly happened, and it turns out that the US government actually allowed the film crew to use a lot of their resources for pretty much next to nothing. And it's pretty clear why. They tried to use this film as a kind of recruiting tool at the time. They also were very, very hands-on when it came to what could or could not be included in the script. You've got a government agency telling you what you can and cannot have in a script. That's a huge issue right there. So that could be one of the problems that I'm now only realizing years later. So who knows? Now, before you fill up my inbox and comment section with hate-fueled rants, just do me a favor. Go watch it again. Go watch it where you are in life right now. Go watch it after a year, 5 years, 10 years, however long it's been since you've seen it last, and really watch it. Don't just put it on in the background. Watch this movie and see if I'm right. If I'm wrong, great. I'm glad that it still lives up for you. But it just didn't live up for me this time around. Sorry. As always, don't forget to hit that like button up at the top if you're watching this on Facebook so you can stay up to date on future episodes. However, if you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button over to the left, my left, your right, and tick that little bell so you can be notified on future episodes that way. You can also follow me on social media at Tyler J. Lamar and on the Stardust app at TLTV for my raw reactions to what I'm watching right now. I need to update that because Handmaid's Tale is going off. Thanks again for watching. See you next time.